How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Lucid Group. And I must say, I feel it held itself up very well considering how choppy the markets were. There was a clear sign of demand for shares, and of course I want to make sure you guys are prepared as this week progresses, because you know we have our short-term price target of $60. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in a bearish case scenario and as well as in a bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and the short interest information. The reason why this is important because the short interest has an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what was the buying and the selling behavior like on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Lucid. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $52.98, being down 3.78%. On the low, it tested $51.60, and then on the high, testing $56.70. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you could see we traded at 91.445 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 121.119 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, but considering all of the volatility, I feel Lucid didn't do too bad whatsoever. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is right around 63.92. And then when we take a look at the moving averages here in our chart, we have strength above the 200-day, the 100-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA, maintaining this strong uptrend. So one of the things I'm going to bring to your attention, you probably can predict this right away. We ended up having a higher level of support today, testing at 51.60. Like I was saying in my previous videos, we've been seeing that $50 was a strong area for Lucid to actually bounce off of. The day before, we saw it test around $50.81, and now we see for today it testing 51.60. So going into tomorrow, you'd want to see even more strength. So I'm going to be looking for some support here right along this $52 level. If we are able to do this, then of course I'm going to be looking forward to us to actually surpass the high of the day here at 56.70 and see if we can make that move to 57.50 so we can get to our short-term price target of $60. And one thing that is also very clear, this consolidation has been working out very nicely for us. I was saying let it consolidate and then we can get ready for the next move up. A lot of buyers are getting into this play and they're realizing, hey, Lucid is holding itself up. This may not be a bad area to actually get into a position, and this is exactly what is happening and which is giving it a lot of price strength. So overall in general, let's see if we could hold up $52 as an area of support and then see where we can get to, which is most preferably 57.50, so we can make that move we're looking for. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Lucid. So as we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So what we can see here for November 30th for the most recent filings, we have HM Payson & Co. that purchased 200 shares, and you can see an average price of $23.25. That's why I always say these are just the filing dates. And of course, what we talked about in the previous video, Vanguard has been loading up heavily on shares. Now, when we take a look now at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 50.48%, and then for the dark pool short volume being just over 22 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 7.6 million, updated 4 hours ago. And then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 0.52%. Now, when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 26th, it was at 44.77. And now for the close of November the 29th, which was yesterday, being at 50.48. So we do see an increase there. And what this tells us right away, there's a lot of negative market sentiment around Lucid stock. And it also does add to the fact it does have short squeeze potential and why you want to continue to keep this play on your watch list. So now let's move into the order flow distribution. Now we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution for Lucid. So we can see here on the inflow it's at 1,604, and then on the outflow it's at 1,036. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large it was 686. On the medium, it was 530, and then on the small, it was 388. When we take a look at the outflow side on the large, it was 31.09. On the medium, it was 532, and then on the small, it was 473. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, November the 30th, wow, 655.03. Keep in mind, this is in the millions, so to be exact, 655 million for large scale orders. Now, when we analyze the numbers even further, we can see for the small scale side, which tends to represent the retail side, we had more selling than we had buying. No surprises considering how volatile the market was. And then on the medium, you could see that we had more selling than we had buying, but it still was fairly close. 530 million versus 532 million. And then when we take a look at what happened on the large, which we just took a look at, there was a lot of buying with 686 million versus 31.09 million. So there's a lot of demand for Lucid shares in the market. So now when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it is at 5.60%. So yes, this is up there, but you have to know there's a lot of traders that are going in and out of this play, and I bet a lot of those traders are watching this channel. I'm just joking around. But anyways, we know with this volatility, it's going to bring in a lot of attention. It's going to be bringing in a lot of volume, and this is why I say you want to do your homework before jumping into this play. So now let's jump into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Lucid, in a technical sense, here's what I want you guys to pay attention to. We're trying to see some price action above $57.50. Getting above this level gives us that opportunity to get to $60. Now, we ended up seeing a high of the day at $56.70, which was great to see. Previously, it was around 55. Also, when we take into consideration the support area, I was saying as far as for traders, in my previous videos, of course, that $50 level has been holding up very well, and there's many positions you could have taken to get some quick profits, whether you wanted to do stocks or whether you wanted to do options. But as far as for support for today, it was around $51.60. So seeing that increasing level going into tomorrow, I'd want to see Lucid hold up around $52. Holding up around 52, make that move to 57.50, that volume picks up, and then we can see the stock go to $60. That is the game plan. That's what I'm looking for. Short-term price target, $60 this week. Come on, Lucid, give it to us. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. And this is why I say this will show up on a lot of radars when it gets above 57.50. Many traders are going to push this volume up, and even it can get past $60. So that's why I want to make sure that you guys are prepared. Keep this play on your watch list. And another thing to take into consideration going into December, if we have some strength being shown inside of the markets, Lucid will move alongside with it. And plus on top of that, like I talked about again inside of the previous video, we are in an EV bubble right now. So the more that bubble expands, Lucid will benefit. The only time we should be showing some concern is when that bubble begins to pop, because Lucid will pull back just like many other EV plays. So this is why I want to make sure you guys are doing your due diligence, you're doing your homework, you're paying attention to my videos, because I want to make sure you guys are seeing success inside of the stock market. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see how Lucid performs going into tomorrow. We'll be talking real soon.